強いお酒でも歪まない思い出がバカみたい
And we're back with apologies to Andreikin and Karyakin. I'll say no Russian super grandmasters were harmed during the making of that Baka Matai video. Is that what the meme is? Baka Mitai? Baka what? Baka Mitai? Anyway, that's, you know, you guys enjoy that? Come on. Yeah, that was hilarious. We're back, and we're working on the audio. Not sure what's going on with the audio. Super low for some reason. But I'll try to talk loud. I don't know what's going on. Nobody does. Nobody's going on. The audio. We'll try to adjust it here real quick. All right, how's that? Better? Resonating? Check me out. Fascinating? Worse? LOL? Oh no. Well, this is turning into quite the tech rehearsal here for Chess.com. I do play frisbee golf, by the way. Thank you for that question. It's actually called disc golf, not frisbee golf. That's what it's called. That's how you know I play. My old settings. Okay, back to the old settings. We're back. We're good? How's everyone doing? Yeah, disc golf time. You guys play disc golf? Yeah, disc golf is great. In fact, this is not like BS on camera. This is so crazy. Ready? Buckle up. I have a hole-in-one at disc golf. Yeah, I got picks. It happened. Okay, literally, it's a fun thing we do. The Chess.com management team here in Utah. A lot of our friends also play, and so we play. And I got a hole-in-one. It was nuts. It was actually on my 4th time playing. I literally threw a hole-in-one. It was freaking bananas. It was like 260 yards, and it was just like literally perfect. And it was ridiculous. Did anyone watch the like basically like recently the World Disc Golf Championships like happened, and the final was actually in Ogden, Utah, for those of you who don't know. And the guy had to make a hole-in-one to tie and go to overtime. And not a hole-in-one, he had to make like a 250-yard like throw, and he made it. And it was totally banana. It was crazy. So wow, the disc golf question, there you go. A little more fun facts about Dan. Yeah, disc golf. Loves me some good disc golf, and I am a hole-in-one holder. You know who doesn't have a hole-in-one? Eric, my CEO. You hear that, Eric? Eric doesn't have a hole-in-one. Oh, I do. That's so weird. That I do, and he doesn't. Okay, let's go back to the board, because what we just released was, I do have a picture. I'll tweet out the picture later. And for those of you who follow the show, it's hole-in-one disc golf. It happened. Amazing. And there you go. Okay, so before we left, we were reviewing this particular daily puzzle. I'm just going to click the retry button. And we, in an impromptu way, failed to solve this daily puzzle, which I would never fail to solve. So obviously I had this whole thing planned the whole time with C4, because boom goes the dynamite, just like that. Really, and then you guys just saw that video, and then you can explode the emotes by clicking on it. So actually, really cool feature that we've got coming. But the other thing you saw in that video is what I want to show here. And I'm going to go to chess.com to play. And what you saw was, I'll play a 3-minute game. It gives me a little more time to do it. What you saw was not just the ability to add images on the board, but we've now launched for those who want it. And again, you can disable it. Obviously, we serve all different levels of chess and chess interests. young crowds, old crowds, and a lot of people have been requesting. So why did we develop this feature? A lot of people have requested, some more like modern gaming fun, like modern gaming taunts, modern gaming like trash talk. So now, or very soon, you'll be able to click this little chat bubble right here. You click it, and you can add emotes. It actually shows the recent ones I used. And when you do it, if I do the hot fire, it actually animates right there. So it's like telling my opponent that he just played a hot fire move. It also keeps track of it in chat, which is pretty fun. And you can also use emotes that are static. In fact, I think only premium members will have access to the animated emotes. And I know that makes you feel like this, right? Because only premium members have that. I get it. But also, we think it's an amazing tool and a lot of people love it. But we also have a lot of emotes being added for non-premium members that do not animate. And you can use those as well at any time and tell someone, hey, I just pinned your rook, get on it, right? I just pinned your rook. Now who's boss, right? That's what's fun. And again, this is not something everyone has to use. You can disable it at any time. The chat, but again, I'm gonna do another hot fire. I'm gonna click it. Actually, I'm gonna do heart loves because I love you guys. I love everybody who's watching this show. And I don't know most of you, but I'd hope to get to know. I probably know some of you, and I'd hope to get to know more. And when we do meet, we can say hi, and perhaps we can even work out together if you're into CrossFit. And do you lift, bro? Kind of thing. And then we can also probably, I don't know, before we leave, a lot of handshakes have gone away with COVID, for proper hygiene and social distancing. So we'll just fist bump. We'll just fist bump before we go. And because that'll be a really fun thing that we did together. We fist bumped. And I wonder if this guy can see the emotes. Oh, okay. Do I care about this game? I lose for a living. I'm not even thinking. I don't even know. I literally don't know what's going on, and that makes me sad. Makes me super sad. And if you use the emotes, they're a lot of fun. And again, wow, this guy is playing fantastical chess right now. I'm going to do a weird move. I don't play chess to win on Parsec anyway, which is the tool we use for these remote broadcasts. Just to be totally real, like I can't blitz on this. Like if you guys have any idea the lag that's happening right now, it's great for broadcasting. This is not a chess.com lag. This is literally a tool you use to run remote broadcasts. Like I literally can't click and move the pieces. It's not a thing you do to play. Not a thing you do to play. You do it to commentate. And that was a sick tactic I just found, though. Can I get some credit for that? That little bishop takes e4 thing, right? And so now we're gonna do our best to try to save this game with only 39 seconds. And we're logged in here to our Studio Europe Parsec, and we'll hope that I can maintain the internet speed, required, but we'll see. I would use emotes, but anyone can do what we're doing here. If you just missed the cool, fun video that we share, we'll share it on social media later for those who missed it. But we now have these emotes, and you can use. And again, I think a lot of people probably won't use them, and we love our chess the way we've always played it. But I think there's a lot of people who will be like, yeah, this is super fun, and a new way to kind of just have some fun and talk some trash and lose on time because you distracted yourself playing with emotes instead of playing chess, and there you go. I'm going to have to pre-move, which is very difficult to do with what's going on here. This is very difficult to do. I'm going to try to open his king last minute. I'm saying there's a chance. 1 in a million, but I'm saying there's a chance to keep this party alive. I might also play g5. But no, he made a move, and now that was bad. I shouldn't have highlighted g5. And we're going to try to move the queen again. 4 kicks and gigs. Maybe we'll even kind of pre-move f6. Super risky to make any pre-moves right now, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I've got the e-file now. Now who's got the e-file, brah? I almost came back here. I'm actually... Oh, I can't see. Okay, well, again, that's why we don't play Blitz and Bullet and Parsec. So we'll have to improve that at a later date. Anyway, so there you go. We used the emotes, and it was a ton of fun. And we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by the president of ChessKid, Carrie Fan, who's rocking hard to work with schools and do all the things that we do at our Scholastic extension site, known as ChessKid.com. So if you're not using it, you maybe don't have kids, because no one is against chess for kids, right? So I'm gonna give you a pass on that and say you probably don't have kids, you're not a kid, you don't have grandkids or nieces or nephews, because that would be a really great thing you could do for them, is get them into chess. And if you were looking for a safe site to play chess on, no user-generated content, no social networking right within it, everything fan-friendly, ChessKid.com. That's it. We'll be right back. And we are now joined by the president and CEO of our Scholastic extension site, ChessKid.com. Mr. Kerry Fan is the guy leading the ship over there, sailing the ship. Do you sail?
I don't sail, but the view I have right now, I can actually see sailboats outside right now.
That's amazing. Okay, I can tell you're not in your normal digs where we have our meetings and calls, right? Not the normal living room background.
Not in the normal dig.
That's awesome. Well, Kerry, we're here to talk Chess Kid. We know that our guy, Fun Master Mike, is also kind of traveling right now with some summer stuff. And so, so take us through it, man. How are things going at Chess Kid? What do you want to talk about? And you have the floor, and let's do it.
Well, ChessKid is going great. We're super excited about all the features and some of the new cool things we have upcoming. One of the big things that we just launched is called ChessKid Private Coaching. Now, what is ChessKid Private Coaching? Well, basically, we're trying to be kind of like, you can think of it like we're the Uber of chess and matching students with private coaches. So what we do is we find our first batch of 5 coaches has been hand selected. They've been vetted for safety. Fun Master Mike knows all of these coaches personally. We're definitely going to have to bring on more coaches, but these kids have experience teaching kids. I mean, these coaches have experience teaching kids. They're awesome. They're some of the best coaches in the country, and some of the kids have been elevated to national ranking status. It's going to be great. We already have several customers who are signed up, several kids who are super happy with their first lessons. So we're super excited about it.
That's amazing. Honestly, I think that that's an incredible idea. And, obviously the safety of the users, right? When we say the users, these are kids, right? And obviously a lot of coaches use it. We shouldn't underestimate that. You and I have talked about that a lot. Of course, a big part of what ChessKid does is allow teachers who aren't even necessarily traditional chess coaches to teach chess and bring chess into the classroom. But most of the users are kids. So the safety element is just massive there to get them coaching and make sure that it's safe and fits well with the social mission and everything you guys are doing.
Yeah, it's awesome. And speaking about the safety part, we recognize that's a very, very critical part of what we do. So all of our coaches pass a safety and background check, and we already know them anyway. So we know that they're good.
Right. That's amazing. All right. Well, what else is going on? That's huge. I mean, I literally didn't know that until you hopped on the call here. So that's incredible. So I can't wait to see how that shakes out. And I think it's going to be amazing. I would love to get a coach instantly.
Yeah, we're super happy about that. So one of the next big things that we've done now, Chess.com has already developed a ton of human personalities that became bots. And we've done the same thing. We've done it actually with Fun Master Mike and 6 ages of Fun Master Mike. So kind of similar to Queen's Gambit. But the key difference between our bots and Chess.com's bots is our bots actually talk to you. So it's almost as though you're playing a real life game with a real life personality. So if you were to play 6-year-old Fun Master Mike, he's actually going to talk to you and use audio. Now, I'll admit, Danny, that we actually had to hire a voice actor to play 6-year-old Fun Master Mike's voice because we could not get Mike, no matter how hard we tried, to try to get his voice down to 6-year-old, 8-year-old level.
That is hilarious.
We tried it a couple of times and it sounded ridiculous. So we went with a fun voice actor and it sounds really funny. 6-year-old Fun Master Mike. Now, Mike disclosed to me when he was 6 years old, he was actually rated 1,300. And we thought, wow, okay, that's really impressive. So initially, I wanted to make 6-year-old Mike emulate real 6-year-old Mike, but then I thought, whoa, I mean, 6-year-old Mike is just going to be smashing a bunch of ChessKid users. So we toned it down. Now we have 6-year-old, 8-year-old, all the way up to current version of Fun Master Mike. We also have Women's International Master Yvette Garcia as a personality, and she's super awesome. She's speaking Spanish to you the whole time that you play. So it's just great.
That's incredible. Honestly, this is like 2 major features I want at Chess.com. I love ChessKid. What else are you doing?
Yeah, so we also wanted to talk a bit about our partnerships. And I'm so pleased. I'm really knee deep in the weeds with some of these partnerships myself. And I like to call it Chess Makes a Difference. And we're partnering up with great other people in the chess community, like Russ Makovsky, who you probably know.
Yep.
He's running a program called The Gift of Chess, which gives out 10,000 physical chess sets to kids across the globe. As we've mentioned, you know about Chess in Slums. We're teaching kids how to rise up from slums and actually get full ride scholarships, full education. We're partnering up with an organization in Chicago with Lizzie and Maggie, and they are making chess more accessible to girls and to women. And they're going to create a whole mentorship program just for girls to teach other kids how to play chess. So it's super awesome. Okay. So that's
Amazing.
on the partnership front. Some of the other smaller details, we just launched some chessboard battle animations on the board. So that's new, and all brand new users of ChessKid are going to come to the site and be set up with battle animations right out of the gate. Okay. Some of the other cool things we're doing on the iOS side, we're finally bringing Puzzle Duel to iOS. So I'm already testing it. It works like a charm. It'll probably be released in about a week. But we've got a ton of new things going on, including events. We've got these great events going on. Women's International Yvette Garcia is running tons of Latin America-based events. We also have the Australian Championship and the Youth Speed Chess Championship coming up. And of course, on top of all these events and all these other partnerships and all these other school initiatives, we're going to be building a ton of great features. So we're already working on version 2 of bots, where the faces are actually going to be animated and they're going to be talking to you. So it's just, I can't wait.
Man, I love it. Seriously, I love it. You guys are pushing the needle over there. And I mean, like, no jokes aside, I think all things that we would love to bring to Chess.com. I'm sure a lot of the, older users in the chat are like, yeah, why can't we have those fun things at Chess.com? Not just the kids want to play animated talking bots. The last thing we didn't shout out, we talked about in the last State of Chess, because it had kind of just come out, which was the ChessKid Adventure app. I know people are loving it. This is obviously a different kind of app than just the traditional one. I don't say just the traditional, meaning obviously the hardcore reason a lot of people love chess, just to play chess and learn chess, right? But this adds a lot of fun. And I know my 5-year-old, I will tell you, is obsessed with this. She's beaten the troll. She hasn't gotten past the next part. She's kind of frustrated right now, so we gave her the weekend off, but she's using the ChessKid app, the ChessKid Adventure app.
Yeah, the ChessKid Adventure app. One thing a lot of people don't know is, for right now at least, if you buy a membership to the ChessKid Adventure app, which is $39.99 for a year, you get full access to all things ChessKid, including the regular ChessKid site and iOS ChessKid, the regular iOS ChessKid app. So it's like an all-in-one deal right now that I don't think will last forever. Also on the ChessKid Adventure site, tell your daughter to keep earning coins, because there's this awesome shark suit that I'm sure she's really going to love.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there's a really awesome
She's kind of a shark. She's kind of
if she's anything like her father, then I believe it 100%.
I would describe her a little more as a tiger, but no, I mean, shark, yeah, for sure. Anyway, that's awesome. I will tell her that, because I need a reason for them to like get back on it. So anyway, Carrie, this is great. I mean, seriously, this is so many amazing things happening with ChessKid. I'm super pumped about it. This is and I mean, I think a lot of times people like assume outside looking in, like, obviously we've been working together and doing what we can as leaders of this company for years, but we got so much going on. I didn't know any of this. This is like mind blowing to me. I'm like, this is incredible. I don't think
it's a lot of good stuff. But to be fair, Danny, you know how you were saying how you want to bring stuff over to Chess.com that we're building. Well, Chess.com pushes the heck out of us too, to help us bring some of the best stuff from Chess.com over to ChessKid as well. So it just works perfectly. So.
Great job, man. Seriously, it's great to see. I hope you are enjoying wherever you are in the world. Don't need to say it, but I hope you're enjoying it. And thanks for all the stuff you're doing. And awesome. We'll catch up again later.
Awesome. Thanks. Nice shirt, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know you were wearing that shirt as I'm wearing the same shirt. So.
Nice.
Take it easy.
See you, man.
Bye.
And we are back here again. The State of Chess continues. If you've been with us the whole time, then you've seen the whole display right there on the left side. We're moving from ChessKid to events right now in the plan. We reviewed quarter 2. We had the staff spotlight. Thank you to Chrissy Weber, our HR coordinator. She was awesome. The feature kind of breakdown, the new daily puzzle and the end games was incredible. You guys, if you're not using those, please give them a check out. And then the surprise reveal of these new quick chats we've got coming. Again, a lot of people play Clash Royale or the games where you do stuff. And again, it has nothing to do with the game mechanics. We're not messing with anything, just adding a little fun for those who want to express themselves. And of course, many don't, and they will disable it. But for those of you who are maybe kind of used to that in some of the apps you use, maybe you'll enjoy that. And then we're joined by Carrie. Wow, that was awesome to see what ChessKid's doing. But now time for events. And obviously the chess world, has changed, right? And since COVID, especially, right? The birth of so many more online events. Obviously, Chess.com has the regular things we've been doing for years, from the SCCs and the Pro Chess Leagues and everything. But with Over the Board going away, you had the Champions Chess Store and all the great stuff that the Play Magnus Group is doing. But now, we're looking at a schedule coming up here. I wanted the events section to have like its own segment today because, obviously some of them are already going on right now. You're aware of it, but we have a very, very busy schedule coming up where you are going to see a lot of the commentators you've grown to know and love for the last whatever years you've been a member on Chess.com, covering the biggest events in the world, right? I'm so pumped about what is around the corner, from the FIDE World Cup, to the Singfield Cup returning, one of my favorite events. I'll probably visit St. Louis there and give my boy Maxime Vacher de Grave a run for his giant bullet chess money again at some point. And then of course it's all building up to the World Championships. I'm only mentioning a few because we're going to get into it right now. I'm going to read chat and follow you all, and just again, thanks for being with us, for those of you who've been with us the whole time. And let's continue here. The State of Chess rolls on to the events discussion. So this match, actually, the one you see before you as we talk about the JSCC, is I believe coming up next. Yes, sorry. I wanted to be sure the schedule's so busy and changing because these young men are so busy. A lot of them preparing for going to the FIDE World Cup. So the schedule's been kind of bouncing around. We just saw the conclusion of Magsudlu versus Praggnanandhaa, where Magsudlu completed an epic record comeback against Praggnanandhaa that literally is just insane and amazing. But after horrible disconnection issues, if you missed that, just go to chess.com/news. And check that out. But Marty Rosian and Kamer, Vincent Kamer are set to throw down next. The Junior Speed Chess Championship will be a big focus for the entire month of July. A couple events we launched recently. I want to start just by giving a huge shout out to the next one that's happening on Friday because super marquee matchups. The Winner Stays event is something I'm super excited about. It's there's so much going on, it may be getting lost in the shuffle, but the first Friday of every month, we skipped this Friday because July 2nd was the holiday weekend. There was a lot going on for some of the different competitors in the US. But July 9th will be the next Winner Stays. Normally they would be the first Friday. The sections are kind of named just off of I don't know what you call it, Twitch, gaming technology, the Pogger section, obviously PogChamps, where a lot of our biggest streamers, some of the biggest personalities will play in the PogChamp section. The Sweats are kind of they're better than the average player. In fact, much better. I think in the Sweat section, you just got people that are master level players, streamer extraordinaires like Alexandra, who wants to get revenge for her sister, Andrea. And then you got the Masters, right? Krikor and Jose Martinez are going to throw down. That's going to be an epic one. Krikor will actually be in Sochi getting ready to play the World Cup. So it'll be late for him, even though he won last time. That's going to be a very tough matchup against Jose Martinez, and he knows it. So if you haven't been following that, I think the Chess Played Quick event is a ton of fun, just because the Winner Stays was a ton of fun, and I just saw Chess Played Quick in front of me. Winner Stays a ton of fun, and Chess Played Quick is also a ton of fun. This is something that is now basically a monthly speed run. And, a lot of people love Arena Kings. You tune in, the entire chess category is alive and thriving every Wednesday. A lot of streamers play Title Tuesday, but this is one that anybody can stream and play in. So you don't have to be, streaming on chess.com on a regular basis. You can have just rolled out of bed and play in a Chess Played quick event, and there are prizes for all different levels of chess player. So yeah, Ludwig, I think Ludwig is, I don't know if he's amazing in this format. He won his first matchup, BJH. But I think Connor, who is literally launching his Redemption Arc tour as we speak, is doing everything he can to get his chess to the highest level. Right, it was the shocking end in the tournament, the original tournament arc last year, where Giga proved that maybe he was the protagonist all along. And I'm muting all this anime language because I am so freaking pumped for this event. If you are not following the buzz around this event, you might be dead inside or just not have a Twitter account, because I think this is some of the most viral social engagement we've ever had. This is an event that, if you don't know the birth of it, it was literally the brain and brilliant child. Sorry, I was going to make a really funny joke, but I realized Aaron's on the call, so I don't want to do it. No, I'm kidding. But this is Aaron, our head producer here at Chess.com. And he's in tight with a lot of the anime guys like Connor and Giga and Rustage. So those three guys are returning from the first event. We've got a new person there in Tectone, and then you've got the fight community. I admit I don't know them as well. Really got to know the guys in the anime community this well. Plus, then my kids became obsessed with Attack on Titan, so I just started following everything in the anime community. Anyway, this is going to be awesome. It's a week-long event this time, more than just a couple days. More prizes, and these guys are hilarious. The Trash Taste, the crew, you've got so much content by these guys. If you just look up, any of them on the internet, you'll see that they've got huge followings. This is going to be a really fun event, and I am rooting for Connor in my heart to redeem himself, but I don't know what will happen. So there you go. That event is probably the one I have circled on my calendar as the next biggest one. It's going to happen toward the middle of July, but starting first is the one I already mentioned earlier on the show, is probably the biggest event for professionals and over-the-board chess that isn't the World Chess Championship. And that's not just this year, right? This is the event that happens every couple of years. The World Cup is bananas. And so Danya Naroditsky, our boy, will be doing the majority of the work, but we are going to have guest man. We didn't even have images prepared for this, but it doesn't matter because it's awesome. We're going to have Hoi Fon, women's world champion, as a regular commentator. Veselin Topalov is going to be joining our crew. Say what? I will be dipping my toe in the waters. Ben Feingold as a commentator that many know and love, and then we will have others as well. So Daniel Naroditsky will be the main man holding down our coverage, which will start daily at 5 a.m. Pacific. That's 8 a.m. Eastern time. And we will go until the lights go out, right? We are going to be covering Magnus Carlsen, Anish Giri, Fabiano Caruana, Levon Aronian, Dingley Ren. The list goes on in regards to the best players in the world. I've never worked with Veselin. I'm super excited to have Topalov, a world champion himself, right? Going to be here. And so, obviously, a lot of the things we do at chess.com are events that are online based, the Speed Chess Championships, Pro Chess Leagues, right? We've got these amazing events that are for non-traditional chess players, right? The non-chess endemic audiences. You've got your Pog Champs and you've got your tournament arcs. But I'm super excited for the over-the-board chess scene to return. I think I leaked it already earlier in the show, but we have just officially signed an agreement. We will have cameras for the World Cup from FIDE. And we're super excited for the World Cup coverage. So that's a big one. And don't plan on watching anywhere else. Yeah, I'm super. The trick is Danny's winning smile. What do you mean, Aquaman? What do you? Oh, sorry, you guys are making fun of me. Okay, cool. Back. Any Hooters. We've got anyway. I'm super pumped. FIDE World Cup. Those other events we shouted out. I think Tournament Arc is going to just blow people's minds this year. The event that will then happen right after the World Cup concludes, and this is the first time we're announcing it officially. We will have a written announcement with all the details and all the things that you need to know. But the online chess Olympiad that blew a lot of minds and had a lot of amazing interest last year will be back. We have just agreed to host the second edition of the online chess Olympiad from August 13th to September 15th in cooperation with FIDE. It's going to be amazing. And again, all the details are to come. We are working on the formal announcement. We will have, last year, if you don't remember, it was this crazy controversial ending because Cloudflare went down, and it affected the whole world. India and Russia actually split the gold medal, but it was amazing, and we cannot wait to bring this back. So it's a very busy event, very long event, a lot of hours because you've got so many countries involved, but we're super pumped about it. So running alongside that is going to be our full coverage of we'll call them the St. Louis big ones, right? You've got the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz and the Sinquefield Cup, right? They are part of the Grand Chess Tour. We won't have camera feeds for those in regards to the players, but we will have myself, Robert Hess, and many others commentating on this event. August is going to be huge for over the board, obviously the highest levels of chess. I actually don't know who the participants are yet to be in St. Louis or the Sinquefield. I mean, you think, kind of the big American names will be there, your Nakamuras, your Caruanas, and your Wesley So's. I believe that they will be there. I know Maxime is going. Like I said, we've already been chatting about throwing down with the Giant Bullet Chess kind of rematch, with Maxime. That's right, Maxime. I'm coming for you, baby. I'm going to reclaim my title as the world champion of Giant Bullet Chess, the game and sport I invented. But the St. Louis is going to be awesome, and the Sinquefield Cup obviously will cap it off because that's a lot of people's favorite events. But the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz as well. So August, huge, busy stuff. All of these over the board events are kind of like building as we know, because they all eventually lead to the World Chess Championship. But the event that will happen, and I think have most of the the world watching before that, is the Isle of Man. We are officially laying all the groundwork. And I say that you can hear the doubt in my voice. So I will, as usual, be more transparent than I, say more than I should and stick my foot in my mouth. I will just say that obviously there's a lot that's happened in this world with the pandemic, and many different nations around the world have different standards for, travel restrictions, quarantine, even acceptable vaccines. It's a complicated process, right? So the Isle of Man is going to be, it is the FIDE Grand Swiss Isle of Man, and it will once again be a part of the FIDE Grand Prix cycle, and it will have 2 qualification spots for the next candidate. So nothing will be bigger than this. And I say that knowing it's going to happen in October, but also you can hear the caveat. There's a lot going on behind the scenes as we work super hard to make sure that all standards are met and that this event can actually happen. So all these things are happening. We're super pumped about where they're building, because over the board chess all leads to one climactic moment, and that will be the 2021 World Chess Championship. So I'm not going to overdo this one because we're going to be doing so much content about the World Championship over the next few months. The big news that we already have said, and we will have the exclusive camera feeds on Twitch. So if you are a Twitch viewer, we will also have coverage on YouTube. I see the YouTube chat right in front of me. We will have coverage on TikTok. We do that now. I don't know if you knew that for our biggest events. We will have coverage on Twitter and Facebook. And so we will have coverage everywhere. But for those of you who watch on Twitch and will be looking for your home during the World Championship, only the twitch.tv/chess channel will have the live cameras of the players on site. And so there is no bigger deal than that. And we are super pumped about the coverage we're putting together and the team we're going to have commentating. I'm not going to say this and leak who we have, but I will say that not only will we have myself and Robert Hess holding down every day of the World Championship and many special guests, we will also be joined live in studio by an amazing special guest that you will not want to go anywhere else when you find out who Chess.com is going to be featuring during our coverage of the World Chess Championship. But on that note, like I said, this event section, it had a lot to it, right? Thank you for your patience, and we're building toward the question we just saw in chat. And of course, the question is, what's going on with PogChamps? Well, we're announcing for the first time here the dates, as well as our official sponsor. PogChamps 4 is happening. It will be August 29th through September 12th. It is brought to you by Coinbase, and it is going to be amazing. We do already have several huge names in the streaming world committed. You kind of know some of their faces. We are super excited about the different streamers who are looking to throw their hat in the PogChamps ring this time. It will once again be $100,000 in prizes. It will also yet again have a Chess.com commitment of a minimum $100,000 to charity. We're hoping to raise even more. we're absolutely pumped for PogChamps 4. And so if you didn't know it, if you didn't know, now you know, people. Sorry, I was listening to Biggie Smalls yesterday. I miss Biggie. Can I just say I love you, Biggie Smalls? Right. Anyway, and if you don't know, now you know, PogChamps, Poggers. So PogChamps 4 is happening August 29th through September 12th. Look for our official announcement next week, and then, you know, just do what you do, right? Watch all the coaching streams, which are starting, by the way, already. If you haven't been following the tournament arc thing, again, I'm coming back to it because it's got me giddy. The tournament arc crew is already rolling. Yesterday, I think there was a stream with Gigic and Sea Dog training, and they're going to continue to do it. And so this is almost like the warm-up for PogChamps, and I don't mean that in any way the tournament arc. It's just because this has 8 players. You know, PogChamps has 16, and we know what the PogChamps kind of thrill ride has been. But the tournament arc streams, the coaching is gonna be real. I'm hoping to do some coaching for the tournament arc players here soon too, and I can't wait. So yeah, we did it. We just did it. We loved it. That was hype fail. That wasn't hype fail. You hype fail. No, I'm kidding. That was awesome. And we got so many events. I think I'm most personally excited right now for the FIDE World Cup, just as far as the event I'm like on the edge of my seat for next, and tournament arc, because they're in July, but obviously a very busy calendar. So look ahead, circle, mark your calendar, do the thing you do, right, to make sure that you don't miss a moment of the action. And we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, it's time for the moment you've all been waiting for. It's community breakdown time. It's Danny's Corner. We've been gathering all your questions for the last quarter in our Discord, and we're going to jump into the community, do some Q&A with you before all is said and done. We're ready here, and more State of Chess when we come back in just a couple minutes. And we're back here now with our third staff member of the day on the show. For those of you wondering, where's Eric? Don't worry, Eric, our CEO and co-founder, will be back in a future show. But today we've got the man himself, Trim, who is our community manager. What do the cool kids call you on the street these days, Trim?
Yeah, what is the cool, like I'm still kind of trying to make myself like the Danny, like the dad of the community.
Okay.
And then my mods can be the cool kids. I think that's kind of the good thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But they call me Trim. It's
They call
a
you
unique
Trim.
name. It works.
I love it. I think it makes sense. They call you Trim on the streets, and Trim is in not only charge of our Discord, but also, just like he just said, Trim does a ton to help our community, and works with our mods and just all the things that we're doing to engage with you, the user, and do everything we can to be our best. On that note, we have the active Discord that is growing all the time, and you've been working. I have not seen any of these questions that you're about to read me. The members ask questions, and you're gonna give us their username and ask a question, and then we're just gonna talk, right? And these are the things you've been gathering for the last couple months, right?
Yeah. So some lately, some just. I've included some like general questions that I see pop up now and then, and we're just gonna run through a few of them. I think it's gonna be good. A couple of surprises in there as well. I hope.
Well, that's great. I did just pull up the sheet, so while you read it, I can read it too if I need to. But I'll let you read it, and we'll do it. Here we go. Welcome.
Yeah, I was thinking we should start off soft, kind of warm you up a bit.
Yeah.
This is obviously a question that comes around a lot, but GSM asked knight or bishop?
Knight or bishop?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I think everyone says knight, right?
Do they? I get the impression that everyone says bishops. That's kind of the trendy thing. Like
Really?
you don't ever trade your bishop for a knight. It's like
I
kind
will
of the
say
other way.
Alpha Zero kind of changed the game a little bit in the way that they have the way that they play positions with knights these days. I feel like the neural nets are doing super interesting things. But I think traditionally I would say people would prefer the bishop pair, right? But bishop is supposed to be better than a knight as well, one-on-one. So I guess
Yeah.
I'll go with knight, because I feel
Alright.
like I want to be the underdog. I'm gonna be the knight.
I like it. The knight is a bit quirky. Fits
Okay.
you.
Yeah. The knight's sporting a dad bod. He's slightly limited in his mobility, but every once in a while, he's not as good as he once was, but every once in a while, he's as good once as he ever was. That's me. That's the knight. Little awkward.
Yeah, we'll go with it. Gertesh asked if we could get legendary player bots like Bobby Fischer or Anatoly Karpov, or
So what
maybe
type of player
Morphe.
bots? Like
Legendary player bots.
like a new section, like legends?
Yeah.
That's
Imagine
a
playing
great
Morphe.
idea. But part of the thing we'll answer with that is every bot you see, Chess.com has the rights to from a likeness perspective. And there is work that goes into that, right? And you got to do things the right way. And so I'm all about it. I don't believe that that the rights to Bobby Fischer's likeness are clear waters, and so we don't want to swim in those. We have the rights to Vichy and Vladimir Kramnik and a lot of the others, and we have great relationships with them. But there are some that we ask the rights to, and we don't get, right. And Anatoly, I could just call him up. We should just ask Anatoly, like, yo, anyway, we'll do it later. But Karpov's a good suggestion.
Yeah. All right. Intellect44 asked, when will the brilliant moves thing be improved? And
Okay.
I was thinking a bit about this, because one thing to improve it is to just make more moves, because it will pop up more often. It's not a bug that you haven't seen it. It is obviously that you haven't.
So you go
done
the
it.
other way. You make it kind of not that big of a deal, and people don't worry so much.
But I think we mentioned maybe last State of Chess that we were gonna change it up or do some tweaking. I don't know.
Well, yes. And so and I'm going to do my best to, sit in Eric's chair here. I'm not, I'm not overseeing our product on a daily, right? More on a philosophical, like when we have bigger picture kind of discussions, strategy discussions, things like that. But so I don't know exactly where it's at in the timeline, but I will say this. I said then, right? The very definition of brilliant is subjective, right? Remember that, because in theory, like an exclamation point is supposed to be the best move, like the engine best move. And so what really defines brilliance? There's criteria that we have pulled a lot of different levels of chess that people kind of agree, like it's surprising, it has to be found at a certain depth, So at a certain depth, the engine believes this move is best, and then it keeps thinking, and then it gets to like depth 30, and it's like, oh, bleep, right? So there's a lot of criteria that is still subjective, but we do feel we've gotten as concrete as you can in that manner. And I will say this: what I can't get into is we are working on this all the time, right? There's like a huge team. Some of our most brilliant minds are working on the under the hood projects to unlock these things, right, for chess. And we are doing much more than just redefining brilliant, right? Our goal is to give you as much information and insights as possible in our analysis tool as you would ever want, and then blow your mind further as far as telling you how to get better, what you're consistently missing, patterns throughout your games, not just single games. So, and again, I have to not say more than that because it is something that one of the rare times, sometimes I tease that Eric would come down on me. This is one that like wouldn't be super happy because we just, because breakthroughs are hard to come by in this field. And so you don't want to say more when you think you're close. And people, to tell you the truth, like Eric and I have been fielding calls here, running chess.com for the whatever many years by people who told us 10 years ago, like we're on the verge of unlocking engines explaining the why of chess. And we go, okay. And then you see it and it's kind of clunky. And I don't want to, call out any servers out there, but there are a lot of sometimes I believe like reasons we say things happen in the computer trying to talk like a human that doesn't really unlock what you would really feel satisfied about, right? So we're working super hard on this, and everyone already knows we acquired Dr. Wolf, which is an amazing tool to look up the Dr. Wolf app. And the reason we did that is because my man David, who is our chief learning officer, he's the guy who heads up these teams. You can see him at chess.com/about. And David is one of the most brilliant minds in the world. And he's the guy who leads this up and then lets me and Eric know what the breakthroughs are. So we're working super hard on it. It is a top priority. I am so pumped about what we're going to be able to start doing for users soon. And I can't say more than that. But there you go.
That's a great answer. I think, I think we got what we wanted. Transversal is asking if there's a rule you would like to change in chess.
If there's a
bit more
rule,
personal.
It
could be anything. It could be have a piece moves, maybe. It could be just like a castling, like a special move. I don't know.
I think I've joked about the stalemate rule being changed and then been made fun of and whatever, but I do believe one of the hardest things people initially struggle with in chess is the draw, where so many other games are decisive, and I think that I'm definitely a proponent of eliminating draw offers, and perhaps going all toward like, draws by basically arbiter, sort of officiating. I think because I think it's best for the game when we get the most exciting chess and the players are fighting it out. I don't know that I would really go as far as eliminating stalemate because it's not something you can really do objectively, but I do think it's interesting. And I was really excited about that portion of the AlphaZero report that we did that show with the DeepMind group at Google. For those of you who missed that, it was an amazing show. Just Google like AlphaZero DeepMind chess show or something. Vladimir Kramnik was with me. We had the engineers from DeepMind, these brilliant people. And the no stalemate chess was interesting to me. It did change the way you would have to approach certain things, because if you won on stalemate, you can't even go into a defensive ending. It's more than just like the draw elimination. It's like you can't even go into a defensive ending you would normally be able to hold, which makes the game more exciting and more aggressive earlier. So I actually believe that idea has crazy legs. Otherwise, I think Fisher Random is an amazing way to play chess from a new starting way. So we are forever going to have resources as chess players, Trim. We're like, I don't believe we're ever going to be afraid the game is going to be solved for us to enjoy and play and learn from forever. So like, we don't need to tweak anything to keep it amazing. But I think if I really had to do something, I do look at the draw and some of the interesting elements that might happen to a game if stalemate was not a goal that the defender could shoot for, as something that maybe deserves a little more cred than people give. And maybe I'm just an evil chess popularist, as I've been called, and I want people to understand the game more. And so that's something I always think about, I guess, as far as, thinking about ways, because I believe chess is inherently great as is. It's literally been a game I've dedicated my life to, so I don't need to change it. But part of the reason I take these approaches with like the PogChamps or being a popularist, that people would call it, is because I think one of the things that suffered is we need more people playing in middle school and in high school when chess isn't cool, right? And you're like, you're dropping off, and change the mindset that you can't make it in an ecosystem financially because of chess. So those are my big goals. So I already believe in the game when we do these things, right? I know I'm ranting a little bit, but like chess is already great. But I think that anything that makes the game easier to understand and more accessible and feel more relatable and get more inspired to get better, I'm about those kinds of things because I think that helps more people play. And so I do think that there's some legs to the idea that stalemate is confusing. AF as friendly. It's confusing as friendly. So anyway, go ahead.
And it's not fun when you've got that one position. We've seen it in the Pong Champs. You got those queens, all those queens, and
Right.
and it's the draw.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of my favorite questions here is coming up now. It's from Tomoto Vodu. It's one of our Discord regulars. He's asking for PGNs or library link or a link to the library collection in our YouTube videos. If we're going through games, all that we add PGNs or a link to a library collection that people can go and look at the games.
That's a brilliant idea.
Yes.
Is Sam watching the show? Sam, we should do that. I don't know why we're not putting links to the library collections in the YouTube videos. That's just a content fill. We'll do it. 100% on it.
Awesome.
Winning.
Yes.
Winning. We're going to do that 100%. By the way, in defense of Trim and myself, obviously, especially when I give long answers that are a little more philosophical than just what would I change the rules for, but there's a lot of questions here, and I just want to make sure that I know you'll tell them, Trim, but like the Discord community is awesome, and there's no way we're going to get to all these. So you're just going to keep choosing whichever ones you want.
Yeah, I'm just picking from the list, and maybe I'll force you into the Discord some other time to answer some questions.
Yeah.
A question that comes up a lot. I've been kind of nagging devs about it too, but let's bring it up again as we got it. People are asking for our Doofus from the Discord is asking if we could have unrated or like casual puzzle rush for community activities, for like sharing screen in Discord, solving puzzle rush, trying to get a record together as like club activities as well.
So like community cash for things you do.
Yeah, but like because if you share puzzle rush now, it's actually against our fair play terms of service. So you can't really solve puzzle rush together, which is like it's a crappy thing to kind of intervene with in the Discord and say, hey, you can't really do this because it's a leaderboard and it's actually against the terms of service. But yeah.
Okay, so I misunderstood the question to start. You weren't asking community cash where you were talking about change or look into the community rules about encouraging those sort of like group competitive activities where it's okay to. I agree, and again, not to touch on controversy, but I definitely believe there are letters of the law and spirits of the law in all cases, and it's one of the reasons why sometimes people get mad about content creators being given exceptions to do speed runs, or they get to collaborate during survival mode of a puzzle competition we did, right? But I think we would all agree that in the spirit of providing entertainment that is educational and helps inspire people's love and interest, like it's clearly something they're doing for content that is helping to engage and grow the game, and it is given an exception. Like, hey, we know you're doing this. It's not like they're using a secret account when they collaborate if they do like an event, like a speed run, right? And so we do make exceptions. I would say that we would still make exceptions here. Like if people were like, look, we were doing this to collaborate and we were doing it for a reason. We were doing it for our club. We were doing it for a video. Like every time we hear a personal explanation, I believe we do generally look at it because our goal is just to create a safe, awesome, fun community, not to pretend that we're, world police, right? So I'm positive on that, but I also think anything could be abused by people if they wished to do so. And so that's the chair we're always sitting in, right? Like, how do we create an environment and create a transparent set of rules that can't be abused and taken advantage of? It's why we have a lot of staff members. That's why you have rules, and then you have staff members to interpret and enforce them, right? There's a reason, like, rules are there, but you don't have robots always making like arrests, right? You have to be able to interpret the situation and make the best like human being judgment call you can. And that's kind of what we do. So I would say I'm already giving a thumbs up that I'm positive on the idea, right? That people should be allowed to do this. Actually adjusting the rules and approaching it from a position that doesn't allow people who want to do harm and abuse people when they cheat, cheat to take advantage of things or So it's a very tough question. And obviously, like I said, you know, it's obviously something that we don't always get right. We do our absolute best to do the best we can in those situations. And I would say that if you are a community member out there who wants to have a collaborative thing, give us a reason to say yes. Is it a special event? Is it part of your community's like thing? You do it every once in a while. You can let us know ahead of time, which a lot of people do, which changes it, right? It can, and so give us a reason to say yes, and we often will, because it's the spirit of the law that's meant to make it fun and it doesn't harm others. But you know, you have to understand why they're there as well, right? And so that's the best way I can answer that. And as far as a feature, Trim, that's interesting, but it's almost like we already have the feature. How do I? So you want me to develop a feature that just allows like dual, you know, what I would have to do is actually make a new leaderboard. Eric loves when I ask him to make new leaderboards. If we had a separate leaderboard for collaborative things,
or even just like be able to turn off the leaderboard so you don't really harm anyone's leaderboard position by collaborating with
so we already have that, which is why I said if they let us know, you know, that just so a lot of people know, we do give like title players anonymous accounts at times, you know, when they're training for a big tournament. And one of the things we do for those accounts is we disable the social leaderboard so that they can compete, but they don't take Danya's place as number one in Blitz or whatever, right? And I think so we actually already have that. So again, if you just let the community managers know that this is something you'd like to do, not only do we make exceptions, we would maybe even allow you a second account and disable the social leaderboards for those experiences. Like I'm already saying, yes, we would do that, right? Obviously, a lot of people watching. Like, I mean, that's 100% what we do. And I think the only difference is there's no discrimination here. It's just like we have to do the best we can, knowing that there are like 6 million daily active users on our site. Like we can't be as proactive as you would like to think, right? So sometimes we have to be reactive when things happen and they tell us, and we're like, all right, well, you didn't seem like you were trying to harm someone. We're going to do the best we can with this new information. And I think, but if you can be proactive and you can request like, hey, I'd like a second account for this purpose, we will give it to you. And we will just say, we actually have that feature, right? And that allows you to do exactly what you're doing. And we'll already have the account marked and it won't hurt people and you won't get busted for cheating. So you got to be proactive, right? Because we can't, you know. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I think that's good. And as the people know, they can just ask me, and I'll hook them up.
Cool.
Next one is interesting. So I included this because I'm not quite sure what they're asking about. But will there be a mid games tab like there is an end games tab? I think they're talking about the feature. Will there be a middle game feature?
No comment.
Okay, never gonna happen then. Never gonna happen.
No
comment. We'll just casually stroll on to another very interesting question.
Yeah,
Danny, if the chessboard was 9x9 instead of 8x8, what piece would be on the extra file?
Has anyone ever played Zero on chess? You've got different pieces that can, like, a lot of people have wanted a rook and a knight combined, right? Instead of a rook and bishop, a rook and knight. Now that's funky, right? Which piece would be more effective? I don't know. That would be interesting. Rook or bit, like the queen or a rook and knight combined. So if a queen is rook and bishop, a rook and knight combined, you would call it, you know, I don't know. You'd call it crouching rook knight hidden dragon, right? That would be the name of the piece. Crouching rook knight hidden dragon. TM. Don't steal it. I love it. Okay, that's my piece. Crouching rook knight hidden dragon.
Next up is another question that we got now. I've also seen this discussion on Reddit and other places. Can we get a 10-5 as a preset time control?
Probably not. And I'm gonna be real because again, there are millions and millions of games played every day, right? And we know the time controls that our users have told us they want, and we've had amazing communities of hundreds, if not several thousand members want longer time controls and different time controls from time to time. And I'm literally saying that knowing that 10-5 is like the default time control for these non-traditional chess player events we do, Tournament Arc, PogChamps. But people want to play 10-0. 10-5 adds a significant amount more of time actually to like how people usually find a game in their 20-minute transit on the metro, right? And And people who want to play faster don't tend to like the increments as much anyway. We have a lot of data that just says people don't play increment time controls unless we force them to as part of our Title Tuesdays and those sort of things. You can look at streamers and you'll see the proof of it. And then it comes down to like design and UI. There's only so much space on a screen, right? So if we know that people play 1.5 million bullet games a day, like 4.5 million, like 3 to 5 minute. Then they play like 6 million or like 10-0 games, right? And now we're almost at that 12 million marker. Every other time control makes up the remaining like 875,000 games played every day of the 12 million on Chess.com. So like, think about it like that. Every other time control, right? 30-minute, like weird ones with increments, right? So it's very hard for us to like, because that is also self-fulfilling. Why do they play those time controls? Because it's what we present them with, right? But I don't think that's totally true. And I think we know enough about the traditional, chess communities online and how people have wanted to play Blitz and Bullet so I love the request, but I think, and these, we're real on this show. I'm sorry, but you're more of a minority user than you think you are. And so why do we use those time controls for PogChamps and Tournament Art? Well, because 10-minute is the time control it's the default time control that a lot of the PogChamps people want to play. But when you put a lot of money on the line, we don't want a sudden death time control where people get flagged. So a 5-second increment for that event makes the chess matter more, right? It makes it better. So yeah, anyway, does that, and I've actually talked with Ludwig about this, my boy Lud, who we pretend to have a rivalry with, but thanks for the advice. I actually talked with Ludwig about this for a while. I talked with, some of the other players who maybe wouldn't be as comfortable if I mentioned their name, like about the time control. And a lot of it came down to like, hey, yeah, it was irritating even for Ludwig. And he talked about it in Pog 1 that he couldn't find the 10-5 time control. So he, but once they learned that you can train in 10-0, and that only makes 10-5 easier because now you get the increment during the event. A lot of them get it. And I think as we talked about different options, it's kind of the perfect time control for those events, but it doesn't mean it's the perfect time control to add as a default one for our community. So kind of weird, but that's what goes on in our brain. So maybe we're wrong. I'd love, but that's kind of our thought process.
Yeah, and then I feel it's my job to say to the community, keep asking, because if enough people ask, then it's gonna bow.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, will it be possible to adjust time or other odds in unrated matches for like regular users?
Is it? I guess it is.
Is it?
Yeah. The tools we have that allow people to adjust time controls and even like do takebacks and things like that are sort of for our event managers and moderators. I think, can you request the takeback now just as a player? Can you? I don't remember if you can do that. But will it be possible to adjust time or that's a great request. Why not? Like, I think it would have to be between friends only, right? Like you'd have to have agreement. You can't be screwing with a time control not against the will of your opponent, right? But if friends, we already have odds chess, right? I don't know if people know that you can play odds chess where it automatically balances the game for you, right? So depending on the rating of you and your opponent, it makes the position. So we do have odds chess. And doing odds time controls. Why would we not have that? That's 100. Why would we not have that? I don't see a reason not to. I'm making a note. We should have odds time controls.
It could be like a club feature as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll just push the button. I got an easy button right on the desk. Who took my easy button?
Is it
push
red?
The button. Feature built.
It's got to be red.
Odds chess. Odds chess with time control odds. I don't know why we don't have that. We should have it. Okay, done. I'll have it done next week. Eric will drop everything.
Awesome.
Oh.
Another kind of feature request, I don't know, but when can there be an adoption match preset on Chess.com? Like you just queue into like first to 10 in a row. Like that's brilliant.
That's brilliant. It would obviously you could opt out. Okay, adoption match opt-in, and like you'd have title players in the pool, like willing to adopt you, and you're like, hey, I'm looking for a dad. And Anish is like, well, I'm in the player pool waiting. I'm here for you. I've got a nice home, right? And so Anish Giri opens his arms. You run into them and get adopted on Chess.com. It's brilliant. Let's go. Done. Okay, next question.
Yeah, okay, this is a fun one as well. Why don't you remove the pre-moves so it feels like OTB, but online?
the pre-move functionality is actually something that's more equivalent to high-level OTB than people give credit for. I challenge you to watch the World Blitz. Go Google like Blitz Championship games on YouTube, whatever, right? Like you'll get all the videos of when they play, and tell me that they're not moving the pieces before their opponent has hit the clock. Tell me. Go find me a clip in a time scramble where Hikaru Nakamura, Magnus Carlsen, Jan Nepomniachtchi, it's technically against the rules of OTB chess to even touch your piece before the clock has been hit. And in a time scramble, every damn chess player does it. You know why? Because they're competitive AF, as friendly, and they should do it because it's part of the fun and joy of the game. So I actually don't believe that pre-moves are inherently like unlike something you would do in like a top level chess game. And the ability to make multiple pre-moves is also like reflective of a player like thinking ahead, right? And I've argued this before, right? I've argued that no matter what, though, no matter how fast you move in an OTB chess game, you always lose 0.1 second, which is why we don't change that rule. And that is as soon as I get replaced as chief chess officer here and go, retire to my garden, roll over in my grave, and the chess world's happy because I'm gone. Maybe someone else who guides the chess vision will say Danny's wrong, and you should be able to not lose 0.1 second. I disagree with that. I think no matter how fast you are in real chess, you should always lose 0.1 second, and you always do, even though top players do pre-move over the board. And I think so even if we allow multiple pre-moves, you know what still happens with multiple pre-moves? You still lose 0.1 second. So you can pre-move 9 moves in a row, but you lose 0.9 second no matter what. So I stand by it. I think as the guy in charge of the chess ship, that's my position. We won't change it. Obviously, those in the community know that I'm, directly comparing the different settings the different sites have, and I believe our settings are correct. They're the best. They're what ICC had before Lead Chess, before Chess.com, before Chess24, any other sites were there. And the way Chess.com's pre-moves are and the way they take 0.1 off is the best. I stand by it. There you go.
Reach.
And it's the most reflective of over-the-board pre-moving chess.
All right.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
That's right.
And speaking of first,
Yeah.
Gab Haas is, I butchered that name, but who is the first Chess.com player ever?
I believe it's Jay. Jay is our co-founder with Eric. I believe Jay was the first Chess.com member. Like
who was the first not staff?
User 1, right? Like pilot user in the database. I believe it was Jay.
But do we have like a first member that was not like staff?
Oh man, let me just ask that in general. Actually, I'll start a DM with Jay and Eric. They love when I bother them with nonsensical things.
Because is it like a beta tester or is it just?
I'm going to call it registered user was who wasn't Jay or a staff member.
Yeah,
that's actually a really cool fun fact.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say it's for the show right now. Curious if we know. Okay, cool. I'll see if they get back.
All right. PCL is wondering, can we have a way to play Armageddon matches?
So that's like you take time on like Armageddon matches.
Yeah, like you can like opt into like if you want to play maybe a preset again.
I think we'll classify that under the time odds thing. In that's interesting. Although obviously I know it's not just time odds because Armageddon comes with draw for black. It's interesting. I mean, I'm totally open to that. What would be the purpose of just throwing down an Armageddon game so that you always get wins instead of draws? Well, there you go. That solved it. Hey, making a note. Okay, cool. Got my personal note DM in Slack for myself.
Excellent. That's useful. I wanted to surface a question that I see a lot in chat, and I saw it now as well, and that's chess or Hess?
Oh my God, it doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. Did you know they're the same? And it also, you can't have chess without Hess. So it's obvious which one you choose. You choose Hess, and you can build on that. You can build your temple on Bobby's back, okay? And he loves when I call him Bobby. Robert Hess is absolutely the best. Forget the rest. You can't spell chess without Hess.
There you have it.
Game over. And I think I think maybe we'll transition from there. I know there's a lot more questions to go, but we got to also get to the AMA section too.
Yeah.
Trim, what do you think? Should we call it there and then I'll wrap up some questions?
Like I think I'm good in small doses. I'll come back another time when you least expect
I like
it.
you in large doses, as well as that PogChamps 3 shirt. That looks good on you. Let me just tell you, it looks so damn good.
It's always funny when people ask, "Oh, where did you get that?" And well, what is it about? Oh, it's a chess sweater. And
I've got
get
a ton of PogChamps 3 gear here at the office that we need to distribute, which reminds me, now that we've announced PogChamps 4, we got to get going on the merch. Alex, I know you're in the call. A merch discussion needs to happen. Talk about a discussion we didn't happen yet. Okay, officially overwhelmed. Anyway, join our Discord and make sure you join our Discord and hang out with Trim, the man, leading the communities to safer. I mean, we'll call them the promised lands, and that's what Trim's doing. He's the man. And seriously, thank you so much to all the questions. And I know that's what the show's about, right? We get into it. To me, the AMA, like Discord, answer the community questions, get into some controversial stuff, and just argue about things. That's the fun stuff, along with the feature stuff. Those are some great feature requests today. Although I think they are. If Eric were here, he'd probably be like, those feature requests are never going to happen. So we'll see. One of us has to be the idea guy, and the other guy has to pop the balloons with a needle. Like, one of us has to put a lot of excitement and joy into like great ideas. The other guy just has to sit there with a needle and go, boop, right? And so it works out. It feels really great. All right. So we're in the Q&A portion, although I think let's take a very quick break. When we return, it will be the Q&A, the AMA, where we wrap things up in this show. So if you have more questions after, the things that we just discussed, you want to get into it a little bit, I got some questions here that were already prepared by Trim in that long spreadsheet, like I said. So I got plenty to pull from. But if you have any other questions, you can throw them in chat. Maybe we'll get to some. And if the team finds some good ones, they can add it to the spreadsheet that I start working through here. So don't go anywhere. It is the final Q&A portion of this quarter's State of Chess.com. The final moments when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. We're here. We are ready to dive into the questions that came at us live during the show today, from Discord, from chat, from different things. In fact, I got the Chess TV chat. I see Chess Weave over there, BJH, B Handelman known over there, along with some others. We've got the Twitch, the YouTube, everything. So, again, R.I.P. Mixer, R.I.P. So we continue to roll, and B Handelman is always here, as he says. You can bring in questions. I'm gonna read some from the AMA that was already kind of gathered throughout the day. I'll keep an eye on chat, to see some great ones that come up. That is cool to have. Can we have a way to play like best of 5 or best of 3? That's kind of like the adoption match, like creating a pool that you could jump in where people are looking to play like little mini grudge matches. I just freaking love that idea, and I love this community. I love you guys so much. Grudge pools, brilliant. Boom, push the button, happening next week. Okay, love it. What else we got? We've got, when commenting on tournaments, can live chessboard be shown at all times? It is sometimes very difficult to follow the actual game and the analysis being done on the live board. We often do have 2 boards. We have a small board, the live board, and the big board. I think there are sometimes scenes where we're doing the big board only and we're analyzing. But if you have a specific event you're talking about recently that you didn't like the balance, give the feedback in the chat. All the producers are here listening. I think we try to have a balance, and that is something that the producers of a particular event, along with the hosts of a particular event, kind of work out together, right? I think sometimes you try to do quick variations. Sometimes you have a longer kind of session, and you always keep the live board up. I think an over-the-board chess coverage, which is about to come back with a lot of coverage here on Chess.com if you missed our events, there's going to be a lot of those 2 board scenes, where you have a mini board and a big board along with like camera feeds and stuff like that. So anyway, we do try to work on that. And oh man, that question hurts right there. Ubi YTZA1 asked about the Pro Chess League. I'm going to tell you something, that we have very, very big plans for the Pro Chess League. And this sounds weird because it's like, where did the Pro Chess League go? But there's a very long thing that happened here, right? Starting with the pandemic and starting with all kinds of other events online, starting with our ability to work with like some very big partners who really love the Pro Chess League. It's been our favorite property by evidence. It's the only chess event that's ever had a live final, right? An esports event, truly an online circuit that led to an OTB, over the table circuit, because they still played on computers. The Pro Chess League is #1 priority, but there's been a lot going on with that. And we've also been developing some incredible new features that are going to allow us to do a little more automation to different formats for the Pro Chess League, rather than kind of what it has been, which is a very manual affair, which is great because it's got all the best players in the world competing in kind of a league, right? A league, but a lot working on that. So there you go. We're working on it, and I apologize, and it's near and dear to my heart. So I guess I'm just continuing to read chat. I guess that's what I'm doing here, because I'll go to a Discord question. Why is there no desktop app? We've talked about this many times, because again, I'll answer this the same way I answered the keyboard request earlier. It's kind of unnecessary. Browser technology continues to improve. The teams, the developers that work hard on those projects, the teams at Firefox and Brave and Chrome and Google, all these things, like the browser technology is so fast. There's not really a lot of advantages anymore to like a direct to desktop install. That's just the reality. And there's a lot of extra development that goes into that. Now you got to support issues, and you got to double do bugs, and you got to double add features because they're not exactly the same tech stack. So it's just not a thing, unless there's like a clear reason something was to change within the market. The way things work is like sometimes product, drives business, because you're selling your product that you made amazing. Sometimes business drives product, right? Where it's like, hey, like something has changed and you adjust, right? And right now the desktop apps are just not something that seems necessary. So there you go. How about an option to have coordinates on the bottom left of each square to help teach people how to play? Can be part of the settings. We already have that. We already have coordinates. I don't know exactly what you're referring to. So, I'm sorry. Yeah, don't quite know about that one. So, 3 check on the mobile app. I don't know about that. I actually have no insight in regards to the product pipeline for that. And there you go. Yeah. Oh, on every square. That is interesting. You know, every square notation, like C4 in the corner. That's it. That could definitely be an option for beginners. I think that's a fantastic option. I think that just makes, that's something every chess site should do to just help people learn how to play the game. I love that. Yeah. Do you think it's possible to have online tournaments with classical time controls? I can tell you, on the record or off, like we attempted to do so, and we're met with some pushback by the world's elite, because they just said that it just didn't feel right to commit to a tournament with that kind of time control. We had big intentions for something like that. I think that rapid tends to be the time control of the future. It's kind of the perfect time control, you know, for online events and for even over the board events as well, in a lot of ways, as you see where things are trending. You can play classical chess on chess.com. You can play long time controls, but doing big tournaments with classical time controls doesn't seem to be something that, at least at this stage, people want to get behind. So that's kind of what I've learned. Yeah, Chess Brother Josh just said something really important. If you don't know about the chess.com Vision app, you know, we've got an audience here, you know, to show it to. So I will do that. We'll bring up the full screen. I was on the news earlier, but if you go to Learn and you go to Vision, this is actually an app that is designed to teach you coordinates. So what you do is you turn the coordinates off. Training mode. No, I don't want coordinates. No showing coordinates. So you can do just coordinates. You can do coordinates and pieces. So I'll just do that. And then, you know, you make sure you have your selected color on bottom and you click start, and it's going to tell me something to click on. So it's going to say D4, and I know where that square is. B5, and I know where that square is. There's some lag. Rook A7. There's some lag with the parsec. Again, you know, this is built for productions, guys. This isn't built for blitz and bullet. And that's kind of what this is. So very hard for me to see that. I try to see it as best I can. Queen to B1. So notice I'm making these moves and moving without knowing where F2 is, right? So I'm clicking on a square. There's no coordinates. So this is me training my vision to know the board, and I'm trying to get a record, right? I'm trying to get as high as I can. And there you go. Time ran out, right? So you can practice this on your own, and it is a helpful tool, Chess Visualization Trainer. So if you didn't know that, just go to chess.com/vision and train it. I also have some video series on kind of full board awareness. That's a video series I did a long time ago. And I talked about some different training methods that I used when I was a professional player and aspiring to become the best chess player I could at that time in my life, and I had so many great opportunities to work with the world's best trainers. So don't judge the fact that I failed to become a super grandmaster from the training. Like Hikaru says, how did I not become a GM? Because I worked with Dvoretsky, and he's right, you know. So don't judge the teacher for the teaching, right? So I did not become a super grandmaster, but I was fortunate to work with some of the absolute world's best, like Dvoretsky, like Dolmatov, like Zaitsev, like Kaidanov, you know, I mean, Yermo, my guy. And I've worked with some really great, you know, chess educators who know their stuff. And a lot of the stuff I talked about in those videos are ways to expand the ceiling that you have in regards to your ability to visualize, which helps you avoid blunders. So the Vision Trainer was my idea. It was a tool we did many years ago based on some of the methods that I did on a basic level. I had a lot of other feature requests as part of this, but sometimes what you have to do is you release a feature as like a V1 and you see how popular it is. And this feature, the Vision feature, is not as popular as we would like. So maybe the remaining few thousand of you here can change that and go use Vision Trainer, because there's a lot of cool other tools and training methods I did with a lot of the people I work with that we could add to it. But this is like a V1 that you have to know. You got to know your coordinates, know the colors of your squares, be able to quickly recognize them. That's like V1 of your chess vision. And there are some other things that I talk about in that video series, the full board awareness. So you should go check them out and do it. So there you go. If you do that, then if you get into it, maybe we'll add some more features if the usage of this kind of goes up. So anyway, so there you go. That's a good point, Chamesy. And again, it's just I'm not gonna get my product team to veer. I don't want them to. We got a different roadmap. We got some other amazing tools we're building for you guys and gals. So I'm not going to have them add more than 30 seconds right now, but you're right. It's just a no-brainer. We should have modes where you get more than 30 seconds. So I will make a note of that. That's a great comment from chat. More than 30 seconds for vision trainer. Yeah, it's a good point. Oh my God. Oh, that probably made them apologize, but I am popcorn. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh my. Yeah. Whoo. Here we go. That's gonna buy me a few more minutes on this chair before I freak out about my back. So how we doing? Whose house is this? My house, right? Is that a rap song? All right. I think I missed some other good questions. You can bring them back. I found the chess.com YouTube videos of chess very helpful, but the video of the closest Sicilian is terrible and needs to be replaced. Okay. That's fantastic feedback. Okay, I will look into it. Thank you. BMW, replace the closed Sicilian video. I'm gonna take your word for it, because that's a very specific comment and it's helpful. You know, a lot of comments are left and designed to incite or be trolls or you know, engage in negativity, but that's real critical feedback that I appreciate, and we will address that. So okay, thank you. We are reading questions from everywhere that are relevant and thoughtful and critical in ways that help everyone get better and lead us all in a positive direction. If you're throwing out comments that, you know, you kind of know the answer to, or you want to engage in stuff that's just not relevant or negative, like I'm not gonna talk to you. There you go. Before you go, can you give us a quick repack of high points, new features, etc. for those who joined late? There was a lot in this show. At Steve-O War. This is one you might want to watch again. A lot of product today, but if I'm giving you a high level of new features coming, I mean, we talked about some things that have been released. I kind of previewed the cool GIF feature where you can do GIFs to your opponent across the board now, like, you know, kind of emotes. I don't like to use the word taunt, because taunt sounds like, I don't know, it sounds juvenile, and I'm not into it. But a lot of games use like the taunt things, like, you know, and everyone always makes comparisons to Clash Royale. That's not really our interest. And I think a lot of people in the chess community don't really want these, and that's great. We're fine with that, you know, and you can just disable them. But I also think a lot of people like it. And so that's kind of a cool, fun thing, you know, that I call them just, you know, I don't know, live chat or something, but you know, those are fun things. There's so many coming. I'm going to say, like, definitely watch the video. We broke down a lot of product and feature stuff, and I did leak some stuff about future things we're working on, but I'm not going to give like a whole roadmap discussion right now, Steve. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. It's just kind of the show's wrapping up, and I don't think that we have the bandwidth to kind of do that. So, but there will obviously be more state of chess.coms and all kinds of product features. For those of you who don't follow the regular monthly articles, those things are great and often teasing things to come. So, and I already did mention the L word earlier today, in regards to things we're building on for people to play together. Leagues is the L word. Hi. I love you. Hi. Why can't I analyze my chess.com games with Stockfish 14? We just have to update it. Stockfish 14 just came out. We'll get on it. It just takes time and a lot of things that go into that. Welcome to the chess show. If you haven't seen the board, look at it. Okay. I will say that for the most part, the strength of the newest and latest great Stockfish probably not making a huge difference. That's the reality. Yeah. We do take feedback and we do add features, but there's a lot of amazing features we're doing, Ronnie. So that's not, I appreciate the tone. Will we actually add them? The passive aggressive insinuation that we will not. No, we will. I mean, it takes time. And I mean, guys and gals, like, you know, there's been so much we're working on now. Like, you know, if I told you that, like, you know, we had the idea for Puzzle Rush like years before it happened, right? Or like events has been something we wanted to do, right? Sometimes you know, we're a slow moving ship. Sometimes that's the truth, and so we have to do a lot of things to get a lot of product things in line, and you know, supporting the current interface we have and the users we have is also a top priority. So we're adding features and doing stuff all the time. We already listed, I mean, like this month we just brought like 4 new amazing features, like completely revamped daily puzzle, the end games product. Now you already know we're working on making end games for all kinds of other things that I'm not going to talk about, middle games and all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot of things. So I appreciate it, but it is hard, and I'll acknowledge we're a slow moving ship, you know. So it is easy. You can't miss us if you throw a rock. So if anyone wants to throw a rock of criticism at chess.com, you can't miss us. You're going to hit us, right? And I'm going to have to duck, and it's going to feel bad. So if you want to do that, you can. But we're working hard. We're developing stuff all the time, you know, and I'm pretty proud of where we're at on a product level, honestly, knowing that we've got so much more amazing stuff to come. I'm pretty excited. So yes, there is, and I'm just going to answer that directly. We are working on a badass openings trainer, repertoire builder openings trainer. It's coming. I'll just answer that one straight up, because I'm not going to give a timeline, but it is top priority, along with all kinds of other stuff. Tease some stuff you maybe saw from ChessKid and other things. So Danny Rensch, when will you get a new hairstyle? That's a great question. You know, like I said, you know, again, there's no product in this. There's no product in this. My hair's light and fluffy, and it goes like this. I got to get a haircut. Clearly the Jimmy Neutron's coming back. Okay. But if you look at some of my videos, let's pull up the state of chess image. Let's pull up the state of chess, just general image. You can see when my hair gets a little longer, tend to, if we have the state, I don't know if we do, we can keep my audio like, we'll get it. You can see, you know, I've gone with a different hairstyle from time to time, but I'm getting old, you know? I mean, sometimes you just go with what you got, right? And yeah. So Twist Danny is going bald. I actually have been told I'm not, which is funny. That's that, you know, I was sporting that hairstyle for a while. I've been told I'm not, but I just was born with a receding, very thin hairline, but maybe I am going bald. I've fantasized about ways to shave my head in exciting ways. It sounds weird to you. I think about that. I think about going with, do I want to be the goatee bald guy, right? Do I want the goatee and to be bald, right? There's that guy. Maybe I get my ears pierced too, look like a pirate, right? There's the guy who kind of just always has a little bit of a shadow bald guy, right? I could just embrace the George Costanza and go down the middle and keep the side problem, right? There's a lot of options here, and I'm open to it, you know. So we're gonna see where my genetics take me, and when I start losing all my hair, and I'm gonna adjust. I'm gonna react on the fly. You know, I'm gonna do that, and we're gonna see what happens. Okay. I'm about to say one thing I'm super disappointed about in the community here today. And I don't want this to be taken the wrong way about how upset I am at all of you, but anybody who follows me on Twitter knows I'm a huge Suns fan, and my Suns made the finals for the first time, okay, since the 93 Bulls, okay? Man, that's crazy. It's ridiculous. I was there playing, Kenny. I'm going to kick your ass, Sonny. I'm telling you what, my Phoenix Suns, they're going to win the championship. Chris Paul blowing up the world with his assists, 0 assists to turnover ratio. I'll tell you what, man, the Phoenix Suns, my heart is with them, but I think them Milwaukee Bucks, they got a great team. They got a great team. Kenny, I'm going to kick your ass, Jack. All right. Charles Barkley is not going to be part of the commentary now because it moves to ESPN, but I'm going to miss the TNT crew. Anyway, so go Suns. Go Suns. Don't give me his Bucks in 7. My Suns may lose, but I'm very excited about this. And you guys know I'm a Suns fan. So how did nobody bring up a Suns question? You guys have been I wanted to be asked, Danny, break down the NBA Finals. Give us a play-by-play and prediction. How is Monty Williams' defense, going to handle Middleton? How are we going to keep Holiday out of the lane? I don't know, because Chris Paul can't guard him. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this, and nobody cares about my feelings. You didn't ask that question. I'll be watching game 1 tonight with my family, so that's what Danny's doing later. In fact, I'm going to end this show now, and we're going to get ready. I got to go home. I got to get pizza for the kids. I got to set things up. We got to be ready. I think Eric's coming over. So we got a lot of things going on in the NBA Finals crew. Oh, apparently I'm doing a lightning round. My producers, we're doing like a lightning round now where I just read questions. We need to prepare the lightning round in the future where you ask someone, paper, plastic, this or that, right? This, because the correct answer, paper, plastic, is none. I'll carry them because save the environment, okay? Save the bags, save the world. that kind of thing. So I will do my best to do rapid fire because there were questions. And this is meant in tongue in cheek. So if I say something that's slightly offensive, if you ask the question, please don't be upset. Okay, hourly hyper bullet arenas. I love that idea. Probably not going to happen right away. Have you fixed the timer issue on the broadcast events? Don't know what that timer issue is. If it's an issue, please do let us know. We listen to feedback, like the two boards thing. Doing our best here. Any parody updates in the mobile apps coming? Not sure what that means. Parody is great. I love parodies. They're fantastic. But parody, any parody updates? That was from Spirits Maker on Twitch. So if you still have the question, you can ask it again. With life going back to normal, how will you continue to grow chess? Same way we've been doing. In fact, if anything, I don't think things can only be better with what's happened with the growth of chess. Obviously, over the last couple of years on Twitch, you had the Queen's Gambit. Now we've got these amazing audiences tuning in to watch the highest levels that our game can generate. I'm super proud of chess, and I think people are going to love to watch our coverage of the World Cup, the World Championship, all the major events, and we've got our own big events coming up, the SCC, these things. We didn't even mention the SCC today, and which, wow, that's on me because I listed all the events. The Speed Chess Championship, right? That's happening, right, at some point. World Online Bughouse Championship. Yes, it will happen. I'm working on it. I literally am. And it's been I won't say why it hasn't happened yet, but it's happening. I don't know which membership grants endgames, but I think it's just gold. I think the gold value is through the charts. Upgrade now, right? You get analysis and endgames and puzzles. I mean, go gold or don't go back, right? Do you get your rating back if a streamer beats you in a speed run? Yes, you do. You always do. And we always reward all the ratings, and we do it 100% of the time. So the narrative of unfair biasness is very self-fulfilling, keeps you in that echo chamber that the world's out to get you, right? Because being a victim is helping everyone's life. But no, we reward everyone's points back. And if it doesn't happen, it was just because staff hasn't gotten to it yet. But yeah, no unfair things happening there if you get played in a speed run. In fact, you get to play a grandmaster, so that's cool, right? You're watching the show probably. Who is your favorite producer and why is it Bigfoot? Okay. This has been great. The lightning round will commence on that note. And oh, I see, Spirits Maker. Yeah. That's hard because yeah, it is, part of that is just the process by which you have to operate with the powers that be. And I'm talking about Google and Apple. And every industry every gaming shop. We're not even really a game shop. Chess is chess, and we're just here, right, doing our best. But part of the reason for that, Spirits Maker, is because it's you have to make big bundled updates to mobile and to Google and Apple, to Android and iPhone respectively, right? Because they govern it, and a lot of it's also built in different tech stacks. You have different tech teams, right? And then there's mobile viewing, which is different than web building, right? You have a lot of other options you can do on web that you can do. So those are the three big reasons. Just basic UX and UI, very different from web to mobile, right? The teams are different. So there's always going to be a process that's slightly slower at times, or at least not always aligned, right? Because you have different tech stacks, different code, literally different code that makes the body work. And then there's just the fact that you're dealing with Google and Apple, and that's the reality. And there are processes there you got to follow. So you got to get approval and stuff. So there you go. Blah, 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 blah. I did not get an answer to, wait, did I get an answer to the first chess.com player question? Let me go see if Jay and Eric answered. No, they're not around. Classic. Yeah, we answered Jay was the first user, but the question was clarified, Laura, about who was the first signed up non-staff user. And I tried to ping them and didn't get the answer. So I'll maybe next show we'll have it. So, all right, everybody, I think that's it for realsies this time. Peace to the people, power to the people. Awesome stuff, positive vibes all around. The chess world lives. Item 9 exists. And we will be back for another State of Chess.com. Probably also sometime, yeah, I guess sometime right in October, right when quarter 4 begins, right? So we'll be back then for another one of these shows that, that has a lot of fun. So thank you for being here, and make sure you tune in all the rest of this week for all the things we have happening this week. Arena Kings is tomorrow. We got Winter Stays on Friday, which is huge. The Junior Speed Chess Championship is also tomorrow. You know, Marty Rosyan versus Keimer. And so that's a huge one. I think Marty Rosyan has to be the favorite there if I'm putting my chess prediction hat on, because we know of the kid's blitz and bullet skills, but Keimer's coming up, so who knows? And yeah, winner stays on Friday. Don't forget that. Huge epic stuff. Ken Alexandra, exact revenge against Kurt Schneider, the evil YouTube video maker. Just kidding. Love you, Kurt. And all right, this has been an awesome show. Had a lot of fun. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in. And we will see you next time on another State of Chess.